Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. This is Ashoo here. And today's topic is going to be why Kundalini awakening or Kundalini is shifting your vibration. I've been undergoing my Kundalini process since the year 2005, and I like to create content based upon my personal experiences that could help you to understand this rare phenomena that is happening around the world, but definitely happening wildly around the globe as the energies are changing of this planet and of Mother Earth. So it's my pleasure, namaste to you all, to help you understand that what is happening in your system, in your psychic body, in your emotional body, in your mental body, or in your spiritual body as you are undergoing this phenomena of transformation in your life. So Kundalini is shifting your vibration for a purpose, and the purpose is highly spiritual. And when we talk about spirituality, I think spirituality is often taken as something that like people are like wanting to awaken their Kundalini because they want to experience that heightened sense of spiritual dimensions. And but to warning for those who are trying to awaken their Kundalini, that Kundalini is a very, very intense energy, and how it awakens in somebody could lead to a lot of problems depending upon the data that is beyond the comprehension of anybody who is trying to awaken their Kundalini, because Kundalini is a mysterious process. We may get awakened as we are navigating through this process about the symptoms that it is trying to produce in your system in order to shift your vibrational frequency. But however, it is beyond our comprehension to understand how is this happening and what is the reason behind that happening. Because one reason that we can comprehend based upon our knowledge and what we know about is it is about evolution, it is about transformation. So definitely it is shifting us on all levels of our being. And this shift is happening in a way that could cause a lot of disturbances for the people who were not ready, and it has happened kind of out of nowhere suddenly. There's a possibility that you have been doing some spiritual practices and you were living quite according to you a spiritual lifestyle, but when this energy is awakened in you, everybody starts panicking because the intensity and expansiveness of this energy is too vast that we couldn't comprehend earlier on. So the main purpose of Kundalini is to shift you into a higher vibrational frequency. And what do we mean by the higher vibrational frequency? We really need to be very, very honest about ourselves and our lives when we are shifting into the higher vibrational frequency, because high vibrational frequency doesn't happen just like that. If you really want to taste the texture and experience of the higher vibration frequency, then we really have to go through some cleansing, some purging, and some evolving. Only then we are able to meet those conditions that are shifting us into the higher frequency. So what happens when we are living an average lifestyle based upon our past conditioning patterns? We are really living in a loop, a habitual loop, a conditioned loop, I would say, or you can say it is like a circle. So we are revolving in that circle to live our daily habitual patterns. So we are not evolving. There are a group of people who are given to their self-development, and they may from time to time would like to step out of the comfort zone, step out of that circle of identifications, the circle of attachments, or the familiar circle of certainty. So I will like to draw this circle for you to assume that this is a circle that we were living in earlier on before the Kundalini forcibly decided to awaken within us. So we were living in this circle like everybody else is living. And then there is a group of people who from time to time take the risk of stepping out of this circle for their self-development, right? So they are ready to face the discomfort that comes from making a big shift in their life because they have a motivation and intention. But unfortunately, not everybody is like that. Mostly people are living in that cycle of suffering. They want to choose to live unconsciously because there is a familiarity, there is a sense of certainty in that circle, in that circumference of life, in that worldview they choose to live. But when Kundalini awakens, it is beyond your control, it is beyond your will. So there is no choice, but you are forced, you're forced to shift out of that circle of certainty, out of that circle of familiarity, because Kundalini wants to shift you to the higher vibrational frequency, and you were not ready for that. So she has taken you, she has just grabbed you from your neck suddenly, and that shock is causing that panic and that resistance in your system that doesn't want to step out of that comfort zone, that doesn't want to step out of that familiar zone, because naturally it is not something our nervous system and our bodily system is primed to do. We were not prepared. This is how our human system functions. Our ego functions. Our ego wants to feel safe. Our ego wants to feel comfortable within the familiar circumstances, with familiar people, with the familiar lifestyle, with the familiar thoughts, with the familiar feelings. Even we are like too scared to acknowledge our mistakes because we're so conditioned to the sense of shame that comes from acknowledging something that is a weakness in our cultures and in our societies. So this is just a very small example, because the vastness of this energy is just trying to pull you out of a lot of unconscious sense of shame, fear, and any negative vibrations that are accumulated in the unconscious parts of your vibrational frequency. So she's trying to uproot you from this. So she's trying to dragging you, just like the mom tries to drag the child who's throwing a temper tantrum and say, okay, okay, come. But the child again wants to go. Mom tries to drag, child wants to go back into the same circle because he wants his favorite thing. And when he doesn't get it, then he wants to go in that direction, and the mom pulls him because she thinks it's not good for him. She doesn't want to buy for him, or whatever the reason. So this is something that is happening with us who are not ready to accept the emergence of this powerful energy and surrender to it with trust, faith, and patience for this transformation to happen in your system, so that you can evolve and you can raise your vibrational frequency. So the main purpose of Kundalini is to raise your vibrational frequency, and any kind of fear, panic, and discomfort that is happening at the emotional level is something that requires shifting of your emotional regulation around this process. And anything that is happening at the biological level, at the physical level, the shifts and discomforts that are happening, that can be regulated with certain practices. And a lot of this biological discomfort will disappear once you have regulated and understood your relationship with this energy on your emotional, in your emotional body. So once your emotional body is going to integrate and accept this energy, a lot of your biological symptoms will disappear or calm down, or you can say that you will develop that bigger space, vast space within which you can stay sane and manage the process with much more dexterity, with much more skillfulness. And it's good to communicate with people who are going through this process, to have a kind of support, because that really helps to validate your experiences and know from somebody who has an experience in how to go ahead with your process, because your perspective plays a very important role in the whole process, because your perspective is your energy, it is a frequency. So when you shift your perspective, you're shifting the frequency and you're giving this energy the space to rise through you with much more ease. So if you want to talk to me, the link is in the description box, and I can show you certain ways that you can establish a better relationship with this energy that could help you to sail through your process and manage those moments of panic with much more confidence and connection with this life force energy. Because remember, this is a mother energy, this is a divine energy. So count it as a blessing that you're going through it, because this is once in a lifetime experience that you have been chosen to experience. So don't deny that experience to yourself. And acceptance of this experience is the key to start cooperating with energy and be on your life path, be on your purposeful path that she's trying to bring you or wean you into. So she's trying to shift your vibrational frequency so that it could shift your worldview, it could shift your conditioned worldview, it could shift you and bring you out of those loops which are based upon delusional ways of perceiving the world, so that you can see the truth. You can see the truth of your existence, and you can see the truth of how you are existing in interrelationship to everything that is existing around you. And that's a beautiful thing to happen, isn't it? Because she's bringing you into that vast ocean of expansiveness in your consciousness, at your consciousness level. And what is happening as your worldview begins to shift after you come out of that state or stages of panic and fear and non-acceptance, and you surrender and you begin to integrate this process, then you're going to feel how you are not existing as a teeny tiny bit of egoic self, but you are much more expansive. So she's trying to bring you into your heart center, because it is from your heart center that you're going to experience the expansiveness that coexists with you, in and around you. And that is a beautiful place and space to inhabit that she's trying to bring you, because otherwise it's not possible. Because if we do not acknowledge the discomfort that comes with it, that is the basic thing. Even if you read the research, my latest research or somewhere I read that discomfort is good, because discomfort is the only way that you are going to get up and awaken to your true self. Otherwise, we are people of habitual selves, we are the creatures of habit. So we like to live in the same loop that feels comfortable to us. But she's trying to bring you out of a lot of judgments, out of a lot of illusions, and she's trying to wipe you clean of any kind of those negative loops where we are seeing the world through the lens of those dysfunctional regulation of our nervous system. So she's trying to rewire your nervous system, setting it into a safety of the right kind, accuracy of looking at the world through the eyes that are the eyes of your heart, that are not the eyes of your mind. So she's bringing you down from here to here, and from here you can experience yourself like you never experienced earlier. So this is a beautiful process, my friends. Kundalini is trying to shift your vibrational frequency so that it can decondition you. It can help you to see from the lens of much more elevated self, from a nervous system that is much more regulated, a nervous system that is not seeing the world through the lens of judgment, fear, and insecurity that is coming from deeper parts of your subconscious. She's cleansing your subconscious so that, and making you aware of what it means to feel safe and secure and divinely grounded in a very healthy way in your consciousness, so that you can see through the lens of a healthy sense of self that is not tainted or that is not polluted by a consciousness uh, that that is looking through a lens of judgments, negativity, and lower frequent vibrational frequency in its interactions with others, and also not giving into the negativity of others. So it's very, very much teaching you a healthy sense of boundaries, and at the same time teaching you what it means to stay positive while you're able to see through the negativity that is existing around you. And that can happen only when you can cleanse the negative channels within yourself. We will have a new referencing, and from that new lens and new referencing, you will be able to perceive the world with the newer eyes of more higher frequency positivity and love. And that love can happen only when you have learned to love yourself through that cleansing process. So what is true self-love she's teaching you is to cleanse yourself of any kind of limited belief patterns, inhibitions, resistance, and those kind of belief patterns and energetic frequencies, so that you can rise above them into a much expansive worldview that arises from your heart consciousness. And with that, I will end this video, my friends. If you like this video from your heart, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again. If you want a consultation with me, the link is in the description box below. And I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you like this video and what topics would you like me to talk about around spiritual awakening or Kundalini awakening process. Bye. Stay blessed.